All right, all right, all right. We're back for another stream. Incursions. I'm starting way later than I wanted to, but I ended up not getting to sleep until like 7 this morning. So I did have to sleep, unfortunately. Right now I'm on 74. We're going against 34, a much older server. So far, our guys are winning, but it's been pretty much of a bore fest. I've been just doing regular things on here, looking for action, but I'm not seeing very much. Um, let's see. Let's look at some of the events in here. Some of them I just gotta wait till there's something going on before I can even do anything, and uh, others I'm gonna have to earn by uh, competing some of the events. Right now I'm trying to finish my dailies. Hello, how you doing? But yeah, it's been pretty much of a bore fest. I actually killed more people from my own server than I have from the other stupid ones, like going into this system here and auto grinding during incursions. I looked and see there was all these systems were in red, and I go over there and it's not because of incursions, because morons are uh, auto grinding their ships, giving them easy points. They just went over there and picked them off. So I went ahead and cleaned those systems out, and I bet if I tried hard enough, I'll go into the 30 spat faction space. There's going to be tons of these dumbasses mining. It's just the nature of our server. They're just not very bright. I wasn't really sure how bad territory was this time. Okay, let's see what this is. It looks like somebody on my server raiding somebody here. Let's see. I think that's a nice pull. Well, I'm gonna look and see if there's anything else going on in there, because it's hard for me to believe that one ship would cause the red spot. Okay, that one's cleaned out. Probably somebody cleaned that one out earlier. Okay. How about this one? Well, that's just some little guy. All right, let's do another scan real quick. That's basically what I'm doing is looking. I need to change it back to Galaxy so I can read what's going on here. Okay, so basically not a lot going on this one yet. So it's early. I put up a shield. Well, we're gonna go ahead and do my daily. I had a lot of women drama yesterday, so it kind of physically wore me down. And dude got a good weekend plan. I did fix a few things. I got some good weekend plans. I got a date with a couple of attractive girls. We'll see how it goes. I found a new dating app, and let's say the younger girls are real aggressive on the site. Let's just put it. Let's put it the nicest way possible. But there always, as there is in every dating site now, unfortunately, there is the bots, the fake profiles, and the scammers. You know, you have to deal with them in every dating app you go on it. I don't know what. And right after COVID, there used to be a lot of sex workers that would pretend that they want to date you. Then when you set everything up, then they throw you that they need this amount of money, and that used to be real prevalent. I think there's more now that the strip clubs have opened back up again, and they can do their regular business, but a hoe's got to eat. So they were they were hitting Instagram and the dating sites pretty hard for a while. Uh, but yeah, it's a kind of a nightmare trying to really find someone, a real human, on one of these dating apps. But I liked it back in society where when you actually met women by meet, see them in the wild. You didn't have to go through an electronic barrier to find them and to get them to message you back and whatever. So there's, man, one girl was mad because I was messaging multiple women on there, and I'm like, well, you don't understand what it's like to be a guy on one of these sites. I said, you don't have to worry about it. You've got like probably over 100 guys messaging you. I said, a guy will message 1,000 girls. He might get 10 replies back, and 9 of those are either fake profiles, scammers, or you know anything in between. They're not real. And there really isn't from the there's sometimes there is easy ways to find out if you're on the sites long enough who's fake and who's not, but sometimes there's not, and you have to have a conversation with them until um, there are some little red flags that pop up, and then you can start getting a little more investigative, I guess would be the right word. But now that's pretty much the thing, is not only finding a real girls that will message you back, you have to weed through all the fake profiles and the scammers. And so yesterday I had someone who got pretty upset that they found out I was talking to other women on there, and I'm like, hey, we're not exclusive or anything. We haven't even went on a date yet. How do I know that you're actually gonna? I said, how do I know that you're actually gonna show up? I said, I've had that happen to me a bunch of times on dating apps where you put a meeting together and they never show up. They ghost you. So, and then after I explained it to her, guess she was kind of okay. At least she didn't break off everything. Drama. Like I said, a lot of drama yesterday. But I think I'll have a good weekend, though. Maybe something good to report on that front. And if not, man, I'll just move on. You gotta try what you gotta try. Oh, man. Oh, shoot. Let's see. I am right now. I don't know how. It probably won't last. I was first place on day one, too. In the Vengeance uh, thing. Last week I ended up at eighth because uh, I'm not gonna spend crazy for it. I do enough to finish the SMS, which gave me 200 blueprints of the So now I've got almost half of the blueprints I need for the Vengeance. Whatever I get from here is gravy. I'm not gonna spend a bunch of money trying to outspend these dudes in this one. This one's insane what they spend over here. Uh, this one did cost me $1,000 to finish this SMS, but it gives you 200 blueprints in total. As you can see, I've got almost half. I got, you know, almost half of what I need. And that is basically from this week and last week. Because the very first one was all hooked to the building, and you had to pretty much to tear out the thing. You had to finish the building, and the building really didn't have. Building still scores on this one, but Syndicate XP scores more. And last week, as I told some of you guys, when I left my alliance, I lost their Emerald Chain stuff, and when I did, it weakened my ship quite a bit. So the biggest thing, what I was going to do is just take it up to 57 here, so I could get these bonuses. And while I was there, I was always maybe 300 away from getting the 200 blueprints, so I went ahead and did it. And then I just spent on stuff that I have now. I really don't have anything to spend anything on, really. I've almost completely done with all the research in the research tree for the combat. Well, not all of it. Some of the hazard patterns, and there's one set of stuff in here that was a part of the game before our server. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Well, it's the same one. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Might have some action here. Yeah, our guys. I wonder how much is in there. That's pretty nice, Paul. That's a nice one there. I'll look for one on my own here, not too in the distant future. Yeah, see, they should pull some guys should be pulling off of this one too. See, the problem is I can't use the resources, so I need to find like a big mega one, just for the scoring purposes. Because they hit somebody on the one of the dummies on our site. They popped him open yesterday. He had like 2 quadrillion and he was unshielded. They cleaned him out pretty good, from what I understand. But I didn't do it because, like I said, didn't need the resources. All right, so let's go ahead and get busy. I'm gonna load up the crew that I need in my cube, and we'll go up and we'll jump up there and do what we need to do. But yeah, it's a bore fest this time. Usually this time of day up till 10 o'clock normally is pretty active. I mean, when first 11 o'clock, where the people are crashing the territories, that's pretty good, hot and heavy too. But being that they just did the reset, not all the territories are taken now, Well, they did a pretty good job on theirs, though. Ours isn't as full. But since I don't see any red spots over here that I didn't see when I got up either, it looked like their server was smart enough to move out of there. Oh, man. Let's see. Well, I was going to do a quick scan and see if there's anything going on before I get busy here. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and do my business just like it was any other day, except I won't be doing any mining. That's really, but I've almost got my daily stuff, points done at least. That was something we had to get in the heads of these guys here, that they can skip a day of mining. They don't have to mine every day. That was one of the biggest other problems we used to have when we're playing. All these players who say, "I'm not participating. I'm gonna mine." I'm like, dude, if you're not gonna be involved, then you need to shield up and wait until tomorrow, because you're giving people easy points. That's not a concept that a lot of them don't get. Even if you're not playing Incursions, you're still causing the server to lose points. But like I said, there's a lot of guys on this server not the sharpest knife in the drawer, and some of them just flat out don't care. That's another huge problem. Just flat out don't care if they get raided or whatever, They just don't care. We're going to use my beam on that one. Yeah, that's another problem on this server, that we got a lot of people that don't care. This was an event I used to look forward to all month. But the last few incursions, my whole incursions have been trying to stop people from getting raided. And I did 2 of that before I went on live, and that's pretty much once my ship flies in, that usually stops everything now. No one even tries to take it on, which I guess that makes them smart, I guess, not stupid. But you'll be surprised. I had a 70 guy take a shot at my base, and I mean, he wasn't a strong 70. I was like, it didn't even do any damage to any of my ships in the station. He just bounced right off. I think I forgot what ship he hit me with, but that ship had no chance of doing anything to it. But I scanned what he had in dock. I could have probably taken my lowest 70 ship and waxed him. And the one thing I did do today is I did tear up the Little Kretschno 1 tier, and did one upgrade on the Enterprise. And what is this? So how along am I? How many do I need to get the big one? No, I still need okay, so we probably, here's a 72, 71 will help a lot. Do we have any more 70s in this one? we may need to go into the higher one. So now, this one takes more warp range than that 70. To me, if that was the case, I should have made it to where there's no 69 ships in here. And then make that one the way it is, you know. It's really stupid for them to have 69 ships, because anybody that can get a ship into there is going to be a higher level 70. Or not, just 70, you know. And that's what they're going to be needing, 70 ships and not 69s. They just clutter stuff up there. Okay, there's one, there's two, I didn't queue it, there's another 71 over there. We're gonna get this daily easy tonight. In one pass. Let's find something we can hit with the beam. Here we go. There's one I want to hit with the beam when it charges up. Oh, I need to stop that. There's more over here. I'll go back and get this one. Yeah, I already got my milestone, so I'm good. I'm gonna go up here and get these two. As soon as I charge this up, I want to pop it with a beam, and I'm gonna let it die up here because it's just faster than letting it fly back. It's a long way back. A little bit later, later in the stream, I'm gonna do some wave defenses when it gets boring like this again. I mean, I wish I could save this for another night, man. When both of these, they have low populations in here. Man, this is like the best population of these, especially these 71s I've seen in quite a while in both of these systems. It made it pretty easy, actually. Hit it. It does that sometimes. It'll be dead even though it's floating around here. It won't let me do anything with it. gosh, man, the idiocy and GC extent doesn't they never underestimate, man. How stupid they are. Okay, we're done. I guess the biggest thing is with these tokens I won last from the event yesterday. Was able to go in here, and I'm like 10 shards away from where's she at? There she is. 10 shards away. It shows right here that's not right. Let's go into the. I know it still doesn't have all the efficiencies on those on there. This might be the easiest way to do it. There she is. See, I only need 10 more officer shards for her, and then she's finished. That'll be a big finish right there. I use my Incursion stuff for him. I really do need to get that guy finished out. He's going to be a big focus going forward in any of these things where he's at. I'm really close to not too far on the cat doctor too. She's less than 50 now. So that's going to be a big focus. And I'm just waiting until I get enough of these before I can finish take Rathacon Scott up to tier 4. What was the other one that have this? Oh yeah, I'm sitting there waiting to. Let's see. Let's go up here. And the other thing that I'm waiting on is getting enough of these epic board credits so I can finish out Pick Hugh. So right now, man, I need to go ahead and reset my ships in case it's something that does happen, where I can have some fun here. All right, I gotta put my guys back the way it belongs. There we go. Yeah, it hurts, man. It hurt when I lost 6 billion in power on this ship. And this one would be in its, if I was in my other alliance, this one would be in its 60s and not in the 50s. But I just got tired of being jerked around over there, so I left. Probably will never go back. I mean, to go back, there would be had to be some big changes made in the whole overall structure, and I don't think they'll do it. Because there would be players that would no longer be in the alliance anymore if I went back. Let's check all of them. Yeah, man, it's bore fest so far. I'm sure it's on our side. They're too low for me to hit. Trying to think of somebody I know that would pop them. All right. Let's find somebody. Howard. Where is this at? Oh, that's a nice one. Who's this one? Why would somebody port there? You can't shield in here. Or is one of these systems, I guess. I can't remember which one it was. I just looked in. Oh God, that's stupid. Okay, let's see. Who's this? I'll pass it on to that dude. I who this is. Usually when people are raiding and the system turns red, that's because they swarmed it. I don't see anybody else raiding this guy, and he's going across systems instead of moving right next to it. That's kind of dumb. Let me go in their PvP system and see if there was nobody in ours. Hold it. It's probably on our side. The dots on here. That was a good kill. I guess we could cloak. See if anybody shows up in here to get these guys, you know. Okay, so we did that. We got our Syndicate XP for the day. Oh, there he is. That did give us some points in here. I thought that's for a minute that look, it said 37 seconds. I'm like, what? And you know, doesn't it look like it with the way they got the asterisk? It looks like it's 37 seconds. I thought it was for a second. Okay, we're winning. Okay, I mean that's not out of reach for the other side by no means. That's one idiot forgetting to shield on my server. So that is, even though it looks like we're winning pretty big, we really aren't. Not in this game. This game, one guy, like I said, the guy that last night had 2 quadrillion in resources in his base, or more than one of those guys on my server. Like you see, even me, at the highest level that I am, I only got 334 trillion, and then, you know, whatever, but I actively try to spend it down. When I was in the other alliance, especially when the pulls were easier to do, you know, were bigger, it was easier to do. On this one, it's hard because it just takes so much resources to, you know, like 1.5 million on a full drag right here it would just take forever. I need to do that for the dailies today anyway. I don't think I did it yesterday. But I have decided I am going to make an alt, and I'm gonna stick it into my alliance. So if I do want to leave to join to do something else, I won't lose my progress here. That's why before I never really did anything with the solo alliances, but I see that there are probably some benefits in not doing what I've been doing. Just have it, even if I don't do anything with it, just log. I got an old iPad somewhere. I'll start a new account and transfer it over to this server and let it be my placeholder for the alliance, you know, and put it as the admiral and me as. And then when I get here, we switch. When I'm actually playing it, we switch roles. That would probably be the way to go. All right, guys, so we got that going. Let's go ahead and see if that gave us any. Let's go in here and see. I saw a guy had some kind of reward for something in the store. See if there's anything else in here. You know, they pretty well cleaned it out of everything else. I was wondering if there's any of those flashpoint pulls left, but they already taken it out. Yeah, I ended up having to spend a bunch of that Ferengi event that they had there, like the battle pass type event. I ended up having to spend it on crap I didn't want to because I was afraid that they're not going to do it again. Or the points from that event would not carry over to whatever they stick there. They'll probably do the event like that again. Is the war room open? Yeah, it is. Why? I mean, I've hit players. Why the hell is there no... Why am I not scoring? So, man, this is completely stupid. This doesn't even score on hitting players anymore. What the hell's the point of it? They put the best aspect of this stupid thing out of the thing. Now it's just against players' stations. That's stupid. Now I'm gonna have to go find bases to crack. That is, man, that is stupid. I mean, I've never really noticed it before because there's no alliance, and most of the time that we're a regressive alliance, we'd finish it in the first few hours. But now it looks like I'm going to have to go look for bases to raid. Shoot, still yawning. I did sleep pretty good, man. I was like out when I went lay down. There was no like trying to clear my brain out or whatever. I just hit the pillow and man, I was gone. Okay, let's see what this one is. It's probably way too low, and I was right. Okay. Let's see. Let's try to find a moron. Here's this 46. Does he have anything in it? He does, but okay. Let's see if it scores at least. We'll just send anything. But yeah, man. Usually there's always some kind of big battle going on. I didn't see any on the other side. I didn't see any over here yet. Okay, let's see what the hell that scored in the war room. That give me points, yeah. So that means I'm gonna have to go around cracking bases until I hit these. Because I don't have any. One of the requirements was mining oxygen, and the other one's defense stuff, and I can't do either of those because I don't have territory. Don't really want it. I mean, I could have it if I wanted to. I'd have to buy that $50 pack that's in the store to get enough of the resources to start one. That's usually pretty stupid. If you're done with being on one side that you're not going to be there, you need to really roll to a different server. What is in here? That one doesn't have crap. How about that 40's too low? Here's a 48. He doesn't have anything either. He's completely wiped. But I don't know. I don't really know if that matters actually, as far as the scoring goes. I'm wondering if I could sit there and hump a base and get done. I really don't like doing that. But it's really stupid that, I've killed like about 10 players on our side, and I've done about at least that many on their side, and none of it counted. Let's see, how close did that put me? Because I need to finish the war room. That's something I need to do, because it got me over halfway. So it looks like, I think it resets after each level, I guess. Because it hadn't shown any points over here where, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not used to trying to do it solo. This is the first time they've had this. Why wasn't it on another alliance? Yeah, we gotta find a good base and just raid. That would fix everything. Okay, how big is their 70 on this one? Yeah, he's smart. He's got most of his resources gone. What power is his ship? His base is. What does he got? All miners in his. Okay, let's compare it to mine. He's got 422 versus me. Let's see. Mine is, yeah, I'm quite a bit stronger than he is. I looked online last night. I am the 128th most powerful person on Star Trek Fleet Command as a whole. But I was surprised how big some of the scores is. I don't know how they really got there, unless they just have 870 ships that they tiered up pretty high, or probably all three cubes, and that's really the only way I can think you can score, because there really isn't much as far as the base goes that I can do anything with. I'm almost completely done with the research too, so I've got this war room here, I've got there, and I've got 2 more places on this building, 3 more places on that building. We just got that one, and my treasury is at 68, and the only way I know to earn those is buying the treasury every time redeeming those other part too. But you've got to take the treasury, because the daily stuff doesn't matter, because it uses a different material, use a rare version of the materials. Well, that's a shuttle bay. Pull the wrong one. You see, it uses a rare version of those, and you really can only get them during the out of the treasury. So maybe next treasury I'll be able to update this to 69 because I'm getting there close. All right, let's go back. Let's go back into that other system. Where's it at? Let's go back. I mean, I only need probably one more good kill, and I'm back in the sap, done with it. Honestly, I thought their age of their server, there would be more, it would be a little bit more one-sided. I thought they would just crush it. You know, there'd be too many of their players would be higher than our highest players. And it was going to be a rough sledding. But that didn't bother me. I'd rather do that to be able to test my ships. So that didn't really bother me. I was just thinking how bad we were going to get beat. Because usually that part of the equation, we don't do that bad on. Where we lose incursions is we got too many dummies that won't move and won't keep shielded. That's our problem, not the other part. Now we have become, of course we've gone against, there's been servers who've had, here's one server we went against, he is one of the, like when you go through there and they do a list of the top players, that guy's name is in there. He's probably in the top 30 of the players in the game. Was pretty tough. I got him a couple of times, but I had to ISO myself up big time to do it, and use Lorca's Fist. So he wasn't unbeatable, but he was very hard. It was a situation where guys that would probably be in an enemy alliance were all, because the guy was just killing those dudes, man. And I moved in there. I was getting buffed by people that I was getting buffed. I don't know who was buffing me, but somebody was buffing me every time I came in the system. I mean, I'd already buffed myself too, but I could tell that, get it reset. Used to, it would tell you on the screen. On 20 Master on 37 has the new Vengeance. Cool. I don't know if that's going to be the end-all ship, but to be honest, I've seen too many people beat it. One guy actually beat it with his Kretschna, not even the big cube. And it wasn't like it was like a baby one. It wasn't like a tier 3 one. It was like more like maybe a tier 10 one. But I've seen, and then there's this one that I've showed you guys. I saw on Discord and screenshot it. Let me find it. I want it, but just because I'm an interceptor guy, so as an interceptor, I want the best interceptor in the game. As you can see this one here, but it appears he at least two-shot this guy, because you can see where his shield was or his whole health was when they started the battle right there. But still, look at the difference in power. we can't see where he got stung or not. That's something we don't know. But to me, this really shouldn't even happen, even on a third of a hole, maybe just a little bit more than a third of a hole. He still should, especially because he's got the triangle against the battleship here, or the cube. This should be lights out. You know what I'm saying, guys? But there's a lot of factors we don't know. We don't know. Like I said, he could have been stung. He may not. He may be one of those guys that goes after the ship and never does the research. Who knows? You know, but that's a loss that shouldn't happen in a game right there. Agreed? Even though he's only got a third of a hull, he should have still beat that guy. And it didn't do hardly any damage to his cube either. So that was one of the big things that me and another higher player, the second highest player on our server, were talking about, is whether it was going to be a jellyfish 2.0. And it appears like it's going to be, but it's a cool ship. I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can get it. I've got almost half the blueprints now. Let's see. Ship. And I'm just doing it through the SMS, and whatever I score on the leaderboard is what it is. I'm not trying to, there's no way I can spend in that league. Here I'm giving up $1,000 to finish the SMS. And if it goes right, it looks like I'll probably maybe get it within maybe 350, you know, not 350, 3,500 or something, 3,600 bucks. If it goes what way it might go, I'll get 200 more shards next week, which will put me at 600 and something, plus whatever I get in the leaderboard event. So that's going to put me, if I do it next week and get any bit, week 4 of trying it, I won't have to even finish the SMS to finish it, I don't think. So to me, that's the cheapest way to get the ship, is that way, is to use the SMS as your friend. See, right now I'm in first place. That is not going to hold. That is not going to hold at all. Last week, in this same event, it took, I've got 524 million. Last week it took 3 billion in here to win it. And I had 1 billion. Because I had stuff I could upgrade. I did a lot of research. Most of the research, I'm not going to spend 20,000. Believe me, I'll have it in less than maybe 4 at the most, 4,000. It won't be no 20,000. Because last week I spent 1,400 this week, but I didn't just spend it on that. That was total on some upgrades for the ships and the 10 pulls I made. Well, what's cool about it is every time you do a Syndicate XP pull, they put a special pack in there that has more. So that helped me too. So I bought last week I bought 8 of these packs. I'm in the event, wrong tab. Okay. Last I did the same thing, dang it. Okay. Okay, so last week, no, this is the wrong thing. Last week I did 8 of these, and then I got 2 of those bonus packs that had extra in it. And tiered up my uh, Enterprise E up to 13, and so I could get that second to last seat there, and so I bought two Explorer packs, but that didn't really. I mean, it helped it. I waited instead of doing it on the weekend. I waited to do it on Tuesday, just like I did today. I went ahead. I bought that Interceptor pack in the store, and used it to help my Kretschner. But I would have done it this weekend if this thing didn't happen. I just blew off the weekend leaderboard event and used it for today. And I'll probably do that going forward until I finish the Vengeance, and I won't ever involve myself again after that. I think it'll go away once I pull the 1,000 blueprints there. But I mean, I'm basically doing upgrades. I'm doing anything. I'm not really. The only thing I'm buying extra is the Syndicate XP. But there are boosts like this one here. This one I needed badly after I left my alliance. I needed these ship bonuses really bad because this ship right here went from because right now if I was in my alliance, this would be over 100 right now. They took it all the way. I was at 96, and it took it all the way to 90 after I left. And same thing with the cube. The cube was sitting. I hadn't upgraded it all the way yet. It was sitting like it. I think it was 142, and it took it down to like 135 or something like that. And I at least took 6 to 9 on the rest of the ships. So that hurt. That basically that decided me to put me in because I saw, well, man, I got to get some of these because I was sitting there looking, where can I get some bonus for my ships? And this was really the only thing that I searched through everything that I've done, and really this is the only thing that was. Where's it at? This was the only thing that was out there. Was this right here? And so I went up there, and it put me within $300 of finishing the SMS. So I said, "What the hell?" And then I said, "You know what? This would be a cheapest way to get this ship is to finish the SMS and just hope you get some blueprints in the leaderboard. If you don't, you don't." But the leaderboard event is nuts. You can see I'm sitting here at 524 million, and that was basically finishing the SMS, doing the last upgrade on this Kretschna, taking it up a level, and doing 2 upgrades on the Enterprise. But the only thing is, even then, I'll show you there are upgrades in here. It won't score in the event. It only scores on rare. Any uncommon stuff you got in here, like see that scores and that scores, but these uncommons don't. Or even some of these will even have none of the ones I got left. I got all the 4 biggest ones left, as you can see. Oh, let's go here. So on the little Kretschna, that Interceptor pack gave me the last one, which was this one, which actually didn't score me anything, but it allowed me to upgrade it where there was a couple in here that does, like
This one you'll get both. This one scores in both sides, and they scored pretty good. And the same thing over here. I scored from this upgrade here, this upgrade here, this one, and that one. Whoops, what happened to my comments section? Hold on, dang it. Oh, is it over? Here it is right here, I think. There we go. You know, sometimes, see, I've got a dual screen. Sometimes it'll pull stuff into the main screen here. It makes it where I can't see it. But anyway, so yeah, that's going to be my plan going forward. And probably in 2 or 3 weeks, I'll have the Vengeance. And then it's going to be. I'm not going to probably spend much extra to tear it up. I'm just going to slow roll it. I just want the ship and see what I can do with it. Plus it will scare the piss out of everybody on this server. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's see if we can find us a base now. There's a 57. How much has this guy got in there? No, I mean, he's got some, but I'm looking for the mother load. Who from our server is this? Oh, there's Wildcard. So there must have been something going on. He usually only moves where he's not raiding somebody, so there must have been some battles going on in here. Oh, what the hell? We'll move here and see if we can finish this stupid yeah, the one good thing about when I got this Mac and it reset, you see all these new ships I haven't pulled out of the dock ever since I started using. It helps me find the right amalgam. the one with the oh, his shield came back up. Okay, we'll have to wait for it. It'll help me score in the other event too, but not all. But I need to get that war room thing done. Yeah, it totally sucks if they take PvP out of the war room scoring. It's stupid. Let me get me a quick snack.
whatever faction ship you can work on. The faction ships are usually the better PvP ships. Now, once you get to a point where you can work on getting the Talios will go a long way for you. Not for PvP. It is not too bad of a ship for PvP, but it'll help you in everything else. So, out of the gimmick ships that are out there, that would be probably one of the more important ones. The Monavine is important to help get you resources. But as far as PvP goes, let me think about this a minute. I was always heavy Klingon, so I had the blueprints for this D3 before I even got to 26. Had the rep and stuff. The reputation is probably the biggest thing that you need to do. You need to earn it, kind of be at least two op levels ahead of you. Put it this way, by the time when you hit 26, you should almost have all your prints for your board. So what you need to do is to get one that, if you're not high enough yet on, what op level are you right now, today? For those on YouTube, this is a newer player that's asking about PvP. 27. So do you have your 26 ship yet? Well, in the future, while you're lower, you need to be ahead of yourself. Or now that you're 27, you're working on this ship, the one at 28. But pick up out of the low ships, the D3 is the best. Mayflower is meh, and the Romulan ship at that point, I never thought that was, it never impressed me, but at this level, the D3 I thought was always on top. The Bortus, they're really in that next level where you get into that 28. I didn't really see that there was a real advantage of any of these ships, but the Burrell is where you want for or used to be. I know this is pre-strike team stuff. A pre-strike team that I could take God's Enterprises with that, even though it's an epic ship like this D4. They had to be pretty high, tiered up pretty high. But I knew how to crew back then. Your biggest thing in PvP is not only your ship, but you gotta your officers. You gotta have the right officers in the on the bridge and below. Now that below wasn't even a thing way back in the day. You just stacked it for power. It's a whole new ball game. But these little ships can pack a punch. Cause I loaded up a D3 and went after some guys' 5-star ships and took them down. Then I actually, when the D4, it wasn't even close on some of the times I popped those guys. But it's all about crewing. It's about crewing and the research you have. I got mega research. Like I said, I'm almost completely done with all the research in the game. I do have all the ship research is pretty much done. Make sure I got every one of these. Wonder if I got my messages. My messages are due yet. I think I did them last night though. Oh, come on. Yeah, this one's due. I mean, faction credits are a lot easier to come by than they were when I was on your level. There are systems within the Voyager loop that you can go in here and it gives you mega messages instead of having to hunt those scouts down. Let me find it. Where's the Voyager space? Once you start grinding up here, well, that's not it. Here we go, Voyager space. Now there's subsystems, these ones that you see, the tokens. Once you go into no, that's the mining system, never mind, no. Yeah, you see one of these token systems that don't have mining stuff in it. There are, you use the summon thing on your Voyager. In fact, I'll go do it for hell of it. It's pretty slow. So I'll go ahead and get the Voyager. We'll fly into one of those systems and I'll show you what to do. Now you can equip it as strong as you want, but I don't have any problems hitting those. So we're gonna do boost the. So we're gonna do we're gonna do my loot crew. Then I'm gonna add. There's a couple of officers that actually helped it. I can't remember. Can't remember them offhand. But we'll look at it in just a second. So, yeah, it won't matter. I don't need Carol Marcus, but Carol Marcus is for the augment stuff. So what we want to do is one of these officers. Status effect. That's loot rewards. Let's go loot rewards. No, that's not what we need. Alright, let's. I know Tucker has something to do with the Voyager, with the thing below. Yeah, this is increases the amount of resources destroyed by the species. So we're gonna stick him in there. And I think Neelix. He makes the abilities cheaper. So we're gonna throw Neelix there. And let's see. There's one other officer that has blow ability that. Let's stick him in her place. And I think I'm good with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into one of the better, the best system we can do this in. Okay, now this one here is mining one, so that's not where you want to go. You want to go to this one here, I believe. You see there's no mining stuff in here, so I'll use one of these tokens that you get from grinding.
Now this works in the other systems too to get those species whatever ships. But it also works for in these systems that, and what it'll do is it'll we're gonna see where they're gonna spawn. I'll try to get the far so we can scan one. But you get a ton of faction credits from these hospitals. Or not faction credits, you get the messages that you can use to turn in for faction credits. I mean, I used to, back when I was in my 40s or 50s when it first came out, I came and lived in this system for a little bit and stocked up a bunch of the messages. So you go and get this. You go use this ability here. Oh, that's a player station. Okay, this just shows you how long it was since I did it. And one of these ships are going to come out, and he came right on top of me. Okay, so let's see what it shows in below the cargo hull. It shows nothing, but I got a bunch of the drop right here. I got those for the refinery, which I got tons of those. I don't really need those, but it gave me some faction credits. I mean message stuff for it, and you can turn those in for faction credits every day. We'll do some more. Why not? See if we, there we go. See if we can scan it real quick. Rewards. So you get all these messages. I got a bunch of Klingon, a little bit of Federation. They vary. They're not the same. So that gives you those scout messages that I can turn in for faction credits every day. You used to have to go into each system and look for the scout, and it only gave you like 300 or something like that. So you had to hit 4 or 5 of them a day before you can make the pull. But now you don't have to do that. But you earn the tokens to get in here by just grinding and doing the other stuff. Let's see how many this one's going to give me. See, it varies. Right now, these have been very Klingon heavy, but that's not the norm. Usually they change. And that's another thing. Sometimes you have to wait for them to spawn. What? I don't know what this is. -4? Is it locked up, or maybe there's no? I know it said there was none in the system. So does it just do that until one spawns or something? That's a new. That's I don't know where that come from. That's the first time I've ever seen that, where I got a negative number there. But that was kind of a bummer. We only got a few of those for the token. Usually you're in here for. Oh, you know what you can do? I remember how we used to reset it. You clear the localization and you get off the screen and you go back. That's how we used to do it, I remember now. But usually even then
You're talking about you would get 12 or 14 of those before it would do what's happening right now. I'm still showing negative number here. That's weird. Maybe I need to hit a few of these and get them to where it gives them room to spawn one in. And the system might be full of hostiles. That's another possibility. The system reached its limit. And these give you a bunch of parts, which none of those I need, but nope, it still didn't clear it out. I'll have to turn that into support. That is a bummer. But that's a way to earn some easy faction credits when it works. Yeah, you can move out of the system again, but I don't want to. I just really just showing him how to get easy faction credits, or the means where you can redeem easy faction credits. Otherwise, I remember when I was his level, I spent time searching all the systems looking for the scout ships to hit them. Now you don't have to do that anymore. And believe me, in those days, it was a big part of the game. There were like personal wars going over people sniping the scout ship from somebody. You know, there were definitely used to be bad blood between players on this server, at least, because you don't, at that time we couldn't get into 4-star space, or it was pre that. Those scout ships were like one of the biggest prizes in the game at that point. When you're below, when your whole server is below 40 level. Now there are some in the other systems too. Like I actually hit 2 when I was doing up in the 60s. So they're in all the systems. Of course, the bigger ones are going to give you more messages, but doing the Voyager thing, like I just did there, that was the easiest way to get a bunch of messages. But yeah, what he's saying, the guys are not in Twitch. Another method to make them respawn is just to go out of the system and come back, but you end up wasting a token. One of the ways that we used to get them to respawn was to leave the screen, refresh, do a clear localization, or it restarts the game. And a lot of times you could, and that also happens in that other token space if you're trying to get those species ships. You can do the same way. That's another trick. And also when you want to get the rare mines, the nodes to respawn, you can do that too. But we could probably go in there and it'd be full of, because none of the higher players even. This is a dead loop for, I'd say, a large portion of the people on my server. So I'd imagine if we went into this system that has those mining that you have to do with the Voyager, there'd be probably maybe more than one rare node sitting up there.
But out of the loops, it is not one of the, it's probably one of the easier ones to finish. The NOx01 loop is pretty easy to finish too. It was like, I was maybe done with it about 2 months after the arc was over with. Now the one that I finished really fast was this past arc, the one with the augment space. But that took a Herculean effort to do it. But I had other goals in mind. And doing that really put me ahead. See, DeMarco was in here. That was my number one goal, was to finish DeMarco, and I did. My second one was to acquire and finish this guy. He was the one I did first. It's pretty easy to do, but I mean, well, it's pretty easy to do after you put in the work. Let's say it that. You have to get this reputation up to the superior level, and once you do, it unlocks these champion missions. And you do these champion missions, it gives you these insignia loot, and then you go into, first, if you don't have the Commander Con done, then you want to go into this one, and it gives you Commander Con shards to unlock him, and also gives you this affinity. And this affinity is really important because it not only do you go into this find it. Where's it at? Where's it at? No, it's not up there, I don't think. No. Trying to find it. Once you get the loot, there's a place up here where you can, maybe they already fixed that where it's gone. But there was a place in here where you turn that infinity to maybe it's this one. Yeah, here it is. You turn those that loot, that affinity stuff, and it gives you chests, and you sit there and just pull them. Then you unlock him. Then but the thing is, it uses the same affinity to tier him up. You know, like when I'm waiting for these two. Let's see, like Hugh. Hugh needs epic Borg loot. Well, that Joachim guy, or Joham, or whatever his name is, he took affinity here as well. Not only to use it to buy his shards, you needed a bunch of it to tier him up. And getting him done and getting DeMarco done pretty much made me go blow by that whole loop pretty quickly. Like right now, I'm just pulling, doing it. Where's it at? Why do I keep doing the wrong one? Right now I'm just doing it for these pulls now, but I've got stored millions of this loot from doing all the grinding to get the insignias that I can turn in for to do the other part of the loop I just showed you. Because when you hit the hostile, you're only getting loot inside your ship, you're getting insignia points. So you turn the insignia points in to grab these missions, and these missions you use that loot to do that. It's like I said, it's a Mr. Tiger cluster F, but the rewards were so great that I had to engage in it very hard. Put it this way, if the rewards wouldn't have been as great as they were, I would have just skipped this whole thing. Because honestly, the other part of the deal where they put the away team, right now I'm doing them hard because I'm trying to get Scotty done. But the rest of it's meh. I wouldn't even engage with this if I didn't need these medals for Scotty. So, I don't want to use McCoy. Really don't want to use him either, but we'll see what we can do here. Yeah, they had a mission spawn that uses your strike team guy in there. I'm like, for the captain, you have to use him. I'm like, nah, no thanks. Okay, I got 100%. Let's see if I can find another officer I can stick in. I can put this one instead of that guy's. I'd rather have that guy. No, it still gave me not enough. Damn it. Okay, let's go back. See, I don't need Rachel Garrett because I'm done with her. So I don't want to put McCoy in here. Let's see what happens when I put that guy in there. It gave me 100%. Yeah, I'm much happier doing that group than. So we'll put that one out. Yeah, the rewards were great, but I agree with the one thing that Reb said was something I actually said on my stream earlier. The way to have made that whole thing a lot better was make one loot, forget all the different rarities, bull crap up here, one type of loot, and you're able to spend it like you want in all these. Because right now, it's the way they got set up is not really fair to the lower players. If you go into this space here, we'll go into the augment space. The lower ones we can actually see without me flying a ship in, but I'll go into one of the higher 30 systems. We look at one of these hostiles. All common. Right, all common. So if you're a lower player and this is like the best you can do, you can't even engage with a large portion of the arc because you don't have the loot to spend in it. Well, what they had done originally when you were up in here, where I was grinding in it, in the 68 system, I got no comment at all. It was back in heavy. It was heavy, epic, pretty decent, rare, just a tiny bit of uncommon. But on the private Discord, all the big spender people were angry, saying, I gotta do multiple runs to fill the cargo hold. Yeah, so does everybody else, you know? And so what they ended up doing, they ended up on that first reset, they ended up changing the rarities in these lower ones. So now when I go in here, I get all four, you know. And but I noticed that I mean, I made a big deal about it, and so did some other people. Now you're starting to see some in these lower systems where before you had to get out of this 40 system before you even started getting any of the uncommon. But I did think, which one of these in here, let's go in it's at 5038. No, that's still common. I think it maybe at 40 is where it, here, let's just go in there and see. We'll see where it starts. I remember it started, because one time I think you had to go all the way up to 50 before you started getting the uncommon. But I think now, I think it might start at 40. Plus, might be able to score some over the other side's dummies that are probably grinding here where they're a alliance. No, this one's still all common. Let's go in 42. May start in 42. But I think at one time it didn't start till 50. We don't, the loot ship we won't count because that will give you all. This is where you start getting uncommon. But still, even if you do have a strong enough ship, you don't get any rare or you don't get any epic. So what they should have done is just had like a tiny sliver of the other rarities, just like they did for the high players. Yeah, it's just not fair that you can't get uncommon. That's why there was a big disengage for a lot of players in the deal, because they couldn't participate in a large portion of the most lucrative part of the arc. You know, you couldn't. But let's look and see what you get. Besides, remember, you're very low player. These are pretty decent officers for them to be able to build up, like a Pike or even Hugh, or then you got all three of the Borg PvP officers in here. You got 11, 5, and all your mining ones. That's pretty good. But I would say except Hugh, because I have just recently finished Hugh. The rest of these would be garbage to anybody that's, I'd say, Ops 50 or higher. None, pretty much, they've got most of these completely tiered out. Maybe not the Borg Queen, or they may be still trying to work on Dazik and Gaza, but basically that's probably the 4 officers that mean anything to them in here. But then we go to the uncommon. These are all your strike team, your PvP lower deck officers. These are, I would say these are probably the more important ones for people that are Ops 40 above. And then yet you have to be able to grind 42 or higher to even get these. And there's really no argument, because we're starting to look at some officers that probably that segment of the population of the deal need more than anyone else. And it's going to be these guys here, you know. Then we go into the rare, which you're not even, can't even, if you're probably under 50, you're not going to be earning any of that. You got your primary PVE officers. You got your Sam Kirk, your James Kirk, Sam Kirk, Pike, you know, all the Strange New World ones. You got your Voyager ones in here. So, again, this is some of the most important officers anybody under 50 is going to need. I mean, I use some of these officers every day, and I'm up 70. And so you can't make a case that none of the lower people need these, but actually they need it more than I do. You know, even though I'm getting really close of finishing Sam and James here in Mabinga, so really I've got the pick officers that are in here, and Una, Mabinga, Sam Kirk, James Kirk, and then I don't have any officers in here. Because honestly, the pick officers, they're not real good officers. I mean, they're okay, but if you're using them for PvP, you're going to get crushed by anybody else you come up against, pretty much, unless they're using a PvE crew. And then we go into the epic. Let's see, Forbidden Tech. Wait a minute, okay, I'm going the wrong, put me in the wrong place. And these are going to be some of your newer officers. You got your E Enterprise, which is a good PvE. You got him. You got DeMarco's probably one of the most valuable officers in the game. E Data, same, one of the more valuable officers in the game. You got your Enterprise crew. There are some really Archer. I said Enterprise crew already. So you got Naismith, and these two ladies right here are really important for PvE. So you can't tell me that there's no lower player that these wouldn't help them out immensely. So it makes no sense that they can't even get that stuff until they get into the probably 50. Let's see what they get Ops 50 here. Whoops, dang it. I used my jump juice. I didn't really mean to do that. I've still got, okay. So let's mark one of these. Now this one's still just only giving you common and uncommon, so that's really bull crap. Let's see, let's go with 52. So that's why a lot of the player base checked out on this thing, because it is hard. It's a hard freaking grind, but if you can do it, the rewards are immense. There'll never be another arc in the game that will give us the kind of offer requisition that we got in that arc. There just won't be. Let's find one of these hospitals and we'll look at it. Okay, now you're starting to get to see the rare. Still no epic at all, but you got a really small amount of rare coming in these 52s. So really, this is the first level that you can really grab enough resources for it. And you still don't got the epic, but 52 is what you need to be striving to be able to at least have. I mean, as a lower player, to have a ship that you can go and grind in that system, because it gives you a good amount of common, gives you a real good amount of uncommon, and then gives you a small bit of epic. Not epic, but rare. So basically, you need to have a ship where you can start right there. I could take my cube up in the 70 space and grind in there now, but pretty much I didn't have my cube that high. I was using my Kretschner. I was able to kill about 200 hostiles on one hole up there. If they were if I didn't go for any bonus ship in there, then I got somewhere around 235 or something like that. Somewhere in that range. But that's how I did it. I'd max by the first 2-week break. By the time they put the Reliant in the game, I didn't need it because I'd already maxed out my reputation. So really the Reliant was there just to help me get loot at that point. It didn't help me as far as what it did most people, to hit a way for them to be able to finish up the reputation grind. I didn't need it at that point. I probably didn't even need it period, but still it's nice to stick a ship in there you don't care that dies, because the repair bills are pretty cheap. So basically that's how I use it now. There were a couple people in the stream told me not to get it. I didn't need it, and they were probably right, but what it did do for me is open some stuff in the faction. You saw me do some of the claims just a minute ago. Let's look at this one. Okay, I'm doing pretty good. I had to look and see how much uncommon I had. One time I spent myself out of an upgrade. I mean a pull down there. Okay, so let's go in there and see if we got enough to get rid of. I'm trying to get what's his name done as quick, Scotty's done as quick as possible, so I can finish up, because I've only got a few more of those researches to do up there, and I'm completely done with it. Oh, let's see. Trying to think what I need. Okay, I need to go to away teams. Let's look, see, do I have anything with lower? How many speed ups do I got? I could do her, but let's see which one I need to get back. Who do I put in here? I don't really care if I get those back. Who's in this one? Yeah, I'd rather have those back. Let's go see if we can do. Do I need 4 days, or do I how many days I got left on it? How exactly 4 days? How? I know I don't have enough to finish that one. Let's do the cheaper one then. I don't know. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna let the 24 minutes kick by. No, I don't want to waste another speed up. So, no, I've only pulled it once. There is a if you go into the the research tree. There is and if you get it, it's amazing. It all uses the regular speed ups. It doesn't use the Sigma ones. The amount of, okay, you see right here, I got it maxed out. Unlock Quan's quest assignments. If you can ever spawn one of those, it gives you a unbelievable mission up there. The loot is like nothing you've seen in there. I think it gave me 35,000 of these medals or whatever there are. So basically, See that this is one I will finish that one after I finish everything else, because only one I got left in that group is Riker. But if I can, but I need that one to be done before I can do this last one on the Strange New World crew. Because I'm sure this is going to be a part 2 of this Strange New World, and whatever new officer comes in the game will be affected by this too. So what I do need to do as soon as I get Scotty done here, I'm going to come back and try to finish this one and finish that, and then I've got isolytic damage and that one left, and pretty much I'm done with it all. I'm not going to do the strike team because I'm done with them. That'd be a waste of the deal. And the same thing with Voyager crew, I'm done with those. They'd be stupid to spend stuff. And I don't need to unlock the deal where E-data or, so that's what these were for. You got unlocked in that place where you see the other officers, then in that augment thing. If you unlock these, you'll start being able to get E-data, Chapel, Janeway, and him there. So, but I don't need those. You can see I completely finished the lower deck guys. And then what's weird about it, they got those there, then they have in the actual faction store. You scroll down here, and there are favors down here, and you can see Retaliation Squad, Symbiosis Crew, Galaxy Quest, Mirror. Same type of thing, same type of efficiencies in here. So you can see that I've done it until I can get my Reliant to tier 15. In fact, let's look at the Reliant real quick. I was real close on getting some upgrades on that. So I'm going to switch it to a Reliant, and plus there's a ship thing going on here. Let's see. So, oh, we do got upgrades. Okay, so I'm going to go definitely Shield next. Shield. Then we go Warp Engine. And so I'm quite away from 15. So, but I need to speaking of, let's go ahead and do that. I got some ships that I made that I need to tier up or do for these stupid incursions of it. So let's switch. Let me start looking for them. Okay, this one here. We're gonna upgrade it. I'm gonna finish taking it to 60. I save it for this stuff like this. Yeah, my guys are gonna miss me for this thing because I used to carry this event on my other alliance. Okay, let's see, because I used to save stuff like this for incursions or some. Okay, let's find another ship that I need to do. I'm sure I got another one that I got all 3 of these Sanctuses. No, I got an extra cozy in here. There we go.
can't wait till we start scrapping these. We're kind of promised that they were going to do it, but somebody has told me that they've heard DJ say now it's not going to come this year, but I'd heard different. But my information comes from like 2 or 3 months ago. From what they were talking about, I thought it was going to either be this arc or the next part of this one. And I thought it made sense because if you look into Syndicate XP, it's got some scrapping speed bonuses in it. Because otherwise, nobody with the Syndicate level that high is ever going to need the scrapping stuff. So it's kind of, don't know, but he gets to see the roadmap a little bit. But the person that told me also did. But like I said, that was 2 months ago, maybe, when they told me it was going to come. Knowing how far advanced that they could see it, I knew that it was either going to have to be here by this arc or the next part of this, the part 2 of this one. But someone in the stream said that DJ said it wasn't going to happen this year, which would totally blow. Okay, I don't need to do that. I need to go. It doesn't matter. Let me go back to that one and do manage. Swap ships. I know I have others in here I can do. I know there's like whatchamacallit in here that I built because I had to build it. There it is at the Minerva. I'm trying to find it. There you go, the Minerva. Oh, I already got the stupid thing. See, this didn't even give me any rare parts. That'll take away from my Enterprise E, so I'm not going to do it. But I had to see if I had any yeah, I mean, yeah, he said it. I heard it was, like I said, they see the roadmap maybe like 3 months in advance, or it probably changes. But the person who told me would have seen that, and they said it was coming, and they'd already seen what the exchange rate was going to be, and they said it wasn't that good. And I said, well, I don't care. I've got a bunch of ships I need to get out of here. Like, I'd love to get rid of all 5 of these Novas here. Because the CO guy said we're going to be able to do some of the gimmick ships too. So I'm hoping I can get rid of all 5 of these Novas. Because I'm going to get rid of every non-Klingon ship I've got from 5 down. I'm going to keep the Enterprise ships, of course, but I'm going to get rid of all of them. I still got my D3. I keep my Klingon ship. I'd get rid of all but one amalgam too. I would get rid of all these Meridians, even though it's not going to give me any resources I can use. I'll get rid of all but one of them, just to clear up space down here. And I know they won't do G6, but if they did G6, I would probably scrap at least one of my Selkies. Because I don't even use them anymore. I don't know. I don't know if he'll be in trouble for mentioning it or not, but he told someone in the stream had heard him say, I stopped watching his show because I got tired of all the bull crap until we got actual stuff about the game. I don't really care about all the other stupid shit that he does on the show. I want to know about stuff here. I mean, that's why I really don't dwell too much about very much other than the game on here, because that's why you're watching. You don't really care what's going on in the dude's life. You know, not except if he said he was sick. That's the reason why he'd been on air for 2 weeks or something like that. Now that's totally different. But I don't need to know what's going on in the drama of his life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm there to I want information. Otherwise, I don't need like 45 minutes of bullshit and only before you get any content about the game. But he thinks everybody wants it, though. You can tell. He thinks that he's got a little community and all this stuff. I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are fanboys that does. I want to know about the game. That's why I'm watching it. But yet, I mean, some of you guys are watching me on Twitch. You notice I don't engage in all the stupidity stuff that's on there, and there's a reason for it, because I don't like that when I'm watching it. All about the biddies and all bull crap like that. You'll never hear me talk about that crap, or the hype train and all this stupid shit. You'll never hear me talk about that on here, because I don't care about it. I'm doing it because I want to. If I didn't want to, then I wouldn't be doing this. I mean, when he has information, it's generally really good. Like I use the information that I got from the wave defense. With that little graphic thing, I use it every time I do it, just to refresh my mind what way they're going to spawn. He does have really good information, but it takes so long before you get to the information. You're like, come on, dude, talk about the game, talk about what we tuned into to watch, All right, so we got that done. Today's Tech Tuesday, so we could probably do some few Qs trials. I mean, I'm done. There's for you lower guys. Once you get to the point where you're done with them, you still do them to keep that refinery going, and it doesn't really matter which one you use. You can pick any of them in this event on Tuesday. I usually don't do it on Monday just because I want to make sure I have enough bells to finish the stupid event. And what I'll do is I'll do enough to do my daily. Like I didn't do, I'll do my daily for I guess Monday going into Tuesday. Then after 11, I'll go back and finish it. Well, I know they try to make it into a morning talk show, and all of them do. It's not just him. That's the nature of Twitch, that they think there's some kind of morning talk show host with the wacky characters and stuff like that. It's not just that. If you watch Twitch in general, most of the people are thinking they're doing a drive time wacky FM show or something on there, but anyway, what we're gonna talk about here is this is the way that I kind of do it, so I don't lose. I get the biggest bang for my buck. So I didn't do the Q's trials yesterday. I saved my bells for today, and what I'll do is I'll do enough to clear
What's going on here? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Alright, let's see. Let's go to accused trials. Let's see. You cannot. You have to return to your own universe? Oh my God. I actually have done this before. When did they start doing that crap? Maybe that was what was breaking it before. I don't know. Okay, so let's go back then. There's nothing happening over here anyway, so I'd rather get the accused trials done. Now probably get more action over here anyway, because there's more of our people that are. All right, let's see. Let's look at our system where we're at. I don't see anybody. All right. So we're good. I'll go out there and I'll raid later. I didn't really see anything when I was looking around. Here, while we're here, let's go ahead and see if we see any red dots on our side. Somebody's messaging me. Okay, no, that's when I was messaging somebody else. Who's messaging me? Oh, that's again, I don't see any messages. Oh, here's one here. Oh my God, I hope this isn't stupid idiots. They had to clean this out, clean one of these spaces out. Low guys. Probably not many people can hit that guy. I don't know, biggie. But this thing was loaded with guys from my server. Here's a dummy right here. He's lucky he's too low that I can come and hit him, or I would clear him out of here. But anyway, okay, let's see what else we got. What the heck? Let's see what's going on here. I know those might be somebody grinding, but why is somebody doing that during incursions? Somebody that low. Idiots. Freaking idiots. Who's this idiot? You know what? Screw them. Should go in and pop on both of these dumbasses. Let's just go into 60s. Maybe we can find one of them hunting. While we're at it, let's go ahead and go into the PvP area. Let's go. I'm almost done with it. Yeah, man, that's stupid as hell for them to go in there and do stuff like that during incursions. But we had like 30 players in there earlier in that one of those systems, and I cleaned them out. Why is it not showing? Let me in the. Oh, stop. Nobody. I had to look. No, let's go ahead and start the Q's trials. My server left the augment auto system store. Yeah, I mean why would you give it an easy ship? They give easy points, is why I'm saying. Because I know that I'm on another server. I was looking at that. It's either any idiots in there. They didn't really have any idiots in there. The ones that when I was over there, the only ones I saw were people from my own alliance. They don't have all my people in my crew. I've got DeMarco. No, Jockhelm's not in there. That's who's not. I need to bring it back. It's one enough to get me one milestone. I mean, it's been a weird thing where they've been making you double acquire those sometimes. I'm sitting there looking at mine. I'm reading something. It's still me. She's.
I'm good. How about you? I was dictating something to the phone. Okay. All right, let's see what we got going here. We're going to do the bells. Go ahead and do the away teams. Okay, it's done. Okay, I'm going to do a re-roll, see if I can get something better. I got this, no, I was going to say I got the same one. I didn't. I don't know if I got another one. No. That's a 6-day one too, dang it. Okay, let's see who we want. We're okay with everybody, but let's go ahead and do another officer trait. Trying to see if there's any epic ones. You know, I don't care if I have lose Saren for. Nope, that didn't get me over the top. Yeah, see, even when I'm not going to do it. 85% is too much of a risk. I'll just let that one expire and get a new one. Okay, so we got that done. So we basically need 3 more to finish the daily on it. This might finish it for us. This will finish it for this part. I think we've still got one more milestone to go. And we'll do that after 11 tonight. So what I do is I don't waste these bells. I'm not going to go ahead and finish the event, the SMS for that until after 11. That way I'm going to be able to finish 2 dailies out of it and finish the event at the same time. And that way I don't waste any bells. We'll go and look and see where I put. I think I've only got one more milestone left to do. Yeah. So when I do those bells tonight, that'll finish it. But that way you're not wasting these resources, because once you run out of those bells, it's hard to even compete in this because there's not really a whole lot. You can just go and grind a real bunch of hostiles because you get 1 point for every hostile you kill. Doing that, you could do that, but during incursions, it'd be kind of risky to be doing any kind of thing like that. All right. I gotta put Jock on back in the bottom of this thing. Jokeum or whatever. No, who's missing? Oh, it must be DeGiorgio. What would she be out of here? Oh, Q, pick Q. Why is pick Q in H? Why in the world would I ever put him there? Now I should be getting, yeah, now it looks right.
Okay, I'm gonna shield. I need to go take a restroom break. I'll be right back here in a minute. Okay, we're back. But I'm trying to think of something we can do, man, because it's like, I swear, man, the incursion is never this boring. Especially this time. This time of day is usually battle, all kinds of battle. I'm trying to keep people off of other people's base and stuff like that. If it continues this boring, I'm probably going to end the stream pretty quick. I'm probably going to even check out myself. My gosh. Well, usually my DM box is going crazy about right now, and there's all kinds of red spots to check out trouble. But this is literally the most boring incursions we've ever encountered. Because usually our servers like the Star Trek Fleet Command's bank, where every server goes out a lot richer on the way out. We change their economy when they come here, you know. But hopefully, maybe it's later tonight. They'll be more busy, because right now it's dead. I've never seen it this dead. One time I've ever seen it this dead is like 2 a.m, and usually I can find a base to raid at that point. But gosh, I thought there'd be more action on this side. I'm almost to the point where I want to go kill these guys grinding here. I mean, usually there's always some idiot that moves into this space and tries to mine. Here's some there. These are probably dead bases though. Yeah. They should, you know what they should do? They don't do it, but before incursions, they need to come and archive, do an archive and get rid of all the players that have quit. And but they don't do it often enough. They do it, but they don't do it often enough. Usually there's always one guy that decides to move. He's going to mine anyway. like this guy. It's the same cat. No, same lines, but same level, but not the same guy. I actually need to put my right ship back in there. Guess we could do that when I can finish doing what I was doing before. Get some of those ships that I need to tear up. Okay, I got the. Why is this cozy not all the way up? Oh, here's one I got. I knew I had another one. I wish this counted for the other event. Okay, I don't see if we got any more. Here's a Rotarian. I don't think I've got it. I don't think I've got it. I'll go ahead and do the temp. I'm not gonna do any more upgrades on it until I can find a place I can use this part for. But I'll take it up all the way to level 10 though. Okay, let's go into that deal. Let's see how far away we are. Go ahead and put our right ship back in there. I don't think I got anything else. I can look at the mining ships and see, make sure I got those up all the way up. Oh, I do have another
Okay, before I go any more with it, let's go ahead and see how much I need to get into second. Right now I'm third. My one-man alliance is in third place on our server in the event. Let's see how much. Whoops, wrong thing. Okay, let's go here. Yeah, I'm not too far away from taking first place. See, I went into first. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it up to 35 and I'll save it. Until close tomorrow, then see if I can pop them, go back ahead. I don't want to give them something to aim at, if that makes any sense. They don't know what I got. They don't know what cards I got left in my stack here. All right, I don't think I got another ship. Let's see. I think that is probably it. Look at the Selkies, make sure I got all of them up where they belong. Okay, I've got an NX-01 I can do. Yeah, I don't think any of these are going to be. So I've got 2 more ships I can upgrade later if I need it. Let's see how far that put me ahead. Not a lot, but it's kind of like a slap in the face, you know. Here's an alliance with 101 players, and I'm beating them by myself, you know. I've got to go in here and find some people I can hit so I can get my numbers up higher. I think we'll probably need to go back to the other side of the other base, the other side of the server, and find us someone to raid so I can finish up the war room and get up higher in that. I've ignored it the last few of them because I've been so busy trying to keep people from getting rated that I've been, I scored really high on the other stuff, but not very high on the rating. Just because I don't need the recoil sources. Let's see. For the most part, back when I did need the resources, I was all over that. I always came in the top 2 every time. Let's get my stuff, my base back to normal. See, do I got the right? No, yeah, I changed everybody up in that one. I need to probably re-look at all my ships here now. That one's still good. That one's still good.
Well, it might do. What time is it, guys? Let's see. 6. I may go ahead and take about a 2-hour break. Go get something else to eat, and come back on here, and hopefully we'll see something going on. I'm still shielded. Yeah, I'll update my shield here in a minute. Go get something to eat. Plan on just eating something here, but there's nothing going on here right now. Gee, man, that's totally blows. Because normally, any other time I'd be all over. I'm so busy, I wouldn't even have time to turn the stream on. And now it's just dead on both sides, except a few morons trying to do. Wow. I don't know if this other server decided to just to check out. Usually there'd be all kinds of red spots and some idiot getting ransacked. Let's go ahead and switch over. Oh, that's right. I was hitting that guy earlier. Let's go ahead and get my amalgam and finish this guy off. Finish out my war room at least. Here we go. It should have got me the first tier at least. Let's see. Let's go into it and see. Okay, I got 2 pulls here. I'm gonna go ahead and finish it before I do. Okay, let's do this. This gets boring. close are we? I was just reading the work thing just popped up. Usually when they're looking for people to fill on the shift, or but it's actually on my side of the week, so it doesn't even apply to me. I guess that's what I'm gonna have to do all night for the score, is just raid. It looks like nobody's no action. Because I'm reading the Galaxy. Did that a while ago. It switched to my alliance. I was reading in there. There's not even action in that. There's just a bunch of stupid banter. Usually that's where they don't call me. They'll banner in there saying, hey, we need help here. Which isn't always the smartest thing to do, because it tells the bad guys there's loot to be had somewhere too. So, but like I said, they're not the smartest knife in the drawer. Oh, crap! I can't. Oh, I put the wrong thing. Okay, I got one more tier. I'm gonna do that, then I'm gonna take a break. I think we'll eat, and I'll see you guys when I come back. All right, guys, I'll see you when I get back. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up and then go grab something to eat. I already know what I want. Until next time.